right,
We're live.
welcome back. We're live. Bitcoin Cash Builders session 3. I've got to be real honest. I'm super underprepared for this one, but we promised this time and we've delivered. So we're here and we're going to figure out what we're going to do live on the fly. But it seems like that's how these sessions go, a bit more relative to the podcast anyway. So straight into it. Last time we looked at the process, created a little process document. So that's what I'm going to follow today. So step 1, accountability, updates on the in progress roadmap items. Okay, so here we go. I made this thing at bitcoincashpodcast.com, made a start here guide, which has been, honestly, I've been developing it over time, right? I've been adding more and more and more. I've not really been adding more, but I've been tweaking and updating a lot to it. And I did add in here these videos of Mark Falzon released a really good video of getting started with Bitcoin Cash, which adds a really nice practical element to the bottom of it. So that, I think that actually kind of works because the plan was for me to make this kind of educational theoretical start guide, which I did, and then I'm going to make some videos to go along with it. And then we had George Donnelly was going to make some of these more practical videos, but it seems like the free market has changed its mind, and it seems like Mark Falzon has just kind of completed this one anyway. Completed. So I'm just going to mark this one as kind of, let's just get this video link here, chuck that in as part of the delivery there, and then also just change this to color green. Where's the little color box here? No, this one. All right, cool. So yeah, that's actually a pretty big win, to be honest, because somehow it just got delivered, and I'm increasingly feeling like maybe this is just how this is actually going to work, because so far these sessions have got, like, people have been watching them and they've obviously been interested, and I think it's a good thing to do regularly and to check in on the scene. But what hasn't happened has been people, I was kind of hoping it would involve people kind of coming out of the woodwork and saying like, oh, can I come on and show off a demo of my prototype of my thing that I was working on, sort of like a sprint retrospective that you would have in a tech company, or a engineering trade show, or anything like that. But of course it's completely an experiment, and it was just sort of like, well, let's just see what happens. And it seems to be the kind of the opposite is happening, which is that every week it's mostly just you and I doing it, Jet. But the roadmap items are getting completed by people in the community, just with no coordination, really, which is actually great. So we'll talk about that in a sec. So, okay. So we got updates. So we got this one is, what is this hand? What the? All right. Anyway, we got this one. So Mark Falzon has actually just delivered George Donnelly there, basically, and that one's finished. I made the 10-part script, which I've been tweaking and updating, and I'm going to just update these. So I think this one was started at the last session, which should be, well, I guess let's get this one on the delivered here. So this one was delivered, what's today, the 30th of Jan?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess over time we'll be able to start getting some idea as to like how long the typical blocks take before they get delivered. So here we go. So this one's here, started. Okay, so I'm gonna say delivered. This one, not yet.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see, like, maybe in a year's time, run some stats and be like, this is the average percent that gets completed, this is the average time it takes, this is the longest a task is taken versus the fastest a task is taken.
Yeah, some real like data-driven, metric-driven kind of stats, which is sort of similar to also what I've been doing. That's another thing I'll touch on just quickly. as well too in a second. So, well, I'm just going to say I'm giving an update right now on the 30th of Jan. This is not dead, but I got to be honest that I have not put in any work on making these videos for the start guide to make them a bit more engaging. And the reason I haven't is twofold. One, I've just been too busy, and the other one is, like I said, I have been tweaking and updating the text in a lot of different segments of this. And I feel like I really want to hammer that out and get that too, because once you record the video, you've recorded the video, and obviously I can still update the text, but yeah, just think a little bit more time for it to kind of simmer in the back of my brain and reading over it. I found typos, I found things that were slightly out of whack, or that somebody has commented, oh, you should tweak and update this. So yeah, I will give me another month to kind of work on that part of it as far as that goes. But I think, yeah, the idea of having some more like metrics and stuff is really good as well too. So I do have this stats page that I've been updating as to whether or not the podcast has been growing, tracking the YouTube, Twitter, and all that, and tracking those. I will also make them into some graphs at some point, so we can see if the trend line, well, it's obviously going up, but to see if it's, you know, gaining or faster or slower or whatever. And I do have the audio downloads, the website page here. So I do have this stuff, but I was talking to as well the team from help.cash, the admin of that, who has put on their site, they've also put some stats, help.cash. Okay. Oh, you know, it's called helpme.cash, isn't it? Help me. Yeah, here we go. And they have this monthly statistics page here, but they've kind of got it as an image, and it's at a static. I'd rather it was a static link that was just always helpme.cash/stats. And I asked them if they would put it on that page, and if they can, then I'll link to that there. But this is also kind of similar with how many hits they're getting, and you know, the page numbers are increasing and whatever, and what sites they're getting linked to. So I guess then you could create a bit of a link map of the scene of, you know, who's linking to what, how the traffic is flowing around. All those things I think would be actually awesome. So maybe that's something else that that this sort of sessions can deliver instead.
Why is there just a couple IP addresses in there?
I don't know. This is the bot networks or something. I don't know. This one, well, let's see, 13.198.187.28. Maybe somebody is scraping their page like with a little bot on their home computer and is thinking, look, let me just scrape these links and then, you know, save them as bookmarks or something. I don't know what you'd be doing with that, but that would be my guess, right? Look, there's, what are these? T.co. They're like Telegram links or Twitter links, right?
Yeah. So
people linking from Twitter.
Telegram. That makes sense.
Yeah. 37 links here, you know, 131 links from Noise. I think this is also interesting here. Like the Noise links are higher than the Reddit links. Noise is much smaller than Reddit, right? But it's obviously bigger in the Bitcoin Cash community. So it's interesting that Noise is drawing in new people to the scene who are not interested in Reddit, and then they're now finding their way from Noise into helpme.cash to get involved in Smart BCH. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to see, actually.
I get the impression too that most Noise users aren't as technical as like some of the other, or like the community on other platforms. So it might be more resourceful for that demographic to have access to a website like this.
Yeah. Yeah, super cool. Anyway, this is definitely a big an excellent site that's just been growing and growing and growing. Actually, with the amount of stuff they have on here now, when it started out, it only had a couple of things like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we'll talk about this on the podcast in a second. But we already have, you know, 6, 7 like dexes potentially. And all these just projects are just absolutely kicking off. All these different bridge projects, lots of development stuff, just everything. So yeah, that Smart BCH seems to be going nuts, and helpme.cash is also doing great. So yeah, I don't know, maybe that's something we can create some create a little to-do item to think about for next time. So if I create a new file, where's the little, here we go, create new file. And this will be in sessions/2022. And then it's going to be 0130. And then I'm going to use this format. Gosh, it's all so much easier in a text editor. All right, so this is session 3. Call this Jan 30th. All right, summary notes. Okay, consider creating a metrics hub for BCH Builders or for the scene in general. So extending cashpodcast.com/stats, and then action points. We need to add something in there as well too. All right, so now how do I, let's just move that bad boy there. All right, cool. So yeah, the first thing on the process roadmap, updates on the in progress roadmap items done. I also wanted to take a look at, so yeah, the community seems to just be kind of just naturally doing this stuff. We had one here we go. This one, BCH Radio. I'm going to move this one over here to sort of the in progress kind of lane, because that's in the last month that's started happening. Like Sherry Yukar has been doing a bunch of streams, and there was one by Vlad Ivanov about the smart BCH that was really amazing, and Dino Pawns as well has done a couple of them, different streams. So it seems, yeah, we sort of had this idea, but it's not even like you need to assign anyone to it. And I don't know whether or not they saw this or not. Probably not, right? I know I did talk to Sherry Yukar about it a bit, but they've just independently been doing it, which is great. That's decentralization, right? So maybe let's just add something in here. How can we label this? So community effort. We got Sherry Yukar, Ivanov, and Dynapawns have just been kicking off on that. Organically emerging. Started, and that started in the last month, I would say. So let's just say like January the 8th or something like that. It sort of seemed to start coming about. So yeah, I don't know. We might have to just keep a bit of an eye on that. What color can this be in? Like blue. Yeah, so I don't know, this one got sort of done by Mark Falzon, and then this one the community have just kind of picked up on it. So I really don't know what to make of that we're having these ideas and then they are getting done, but without any direct coordination. Seems great, but like a central information hub, nobody's really done that yet. Although we just saw that it's helpme.cash is for smart BCH. An open source wallet, yeah, nothing's really happened about on that yet. The whale pool reality TV show, that has nothing's happened with that. Or chat.cash, none of those ideas have happened yet. What were some of the other ideas we had? A BCH Meme Hub. That actually does exist, to be honest. This already exists. It's on Telegram. Cheap Lightning made a thing called the memes of promotion, and it's actually pretty funny, some of these ones, but it's a pretty small group. It's only like 60 people. I don't know, it's not just generally made, but maybe we just need to turn this into an account and just call it BCH memes, and all it does is just post these little gifs that people make.
So I know Cheap Lightning's also made a TikTok and a YouTube account and has started posting memes on them under the BCH space name. So
okay, all right. Well, maybe we need to look into that a little bit more as well too. because it just seems to me like there's a Twitter account called Bitcoin Memes, and that's literally just all it is just these crappy ass memes, and it's just, I don't know, it just seems to add like a community should have that of any decent size. So let's maybe just chuck this one over here. Maybe this one is happening as well too. So maybe maybe that's how this is going to go. We just think up this is a cool idea, then we wait and see who does it, and then we go and tell them like, oh, thanks for completing our roadmap item, by the way. Do you mind if we just mark that as done? Can you just look after that? Or maybe it will just become an organic way of, we have these ideas and then somebody does it, and then this becomes a reference point to anybody who can look at this list of all these things and be like, yo, who's actually delivering? Maybe that's what this is turning into, a decentralized, delivery monitoring by us.
As long as like the BCH Builders group, whatever it is, at the end of the day, I don't really know how to address it, but as long as there's no like, Twitter post at one point that's like, the things that
where are you
Builders has accomplished this year
with everybody else's things. Yeah. It's like we didn't even do anything. It's like, oh great, thanks guys, just wrap it up as under our own branding, and then wow, look at how much we've achieved. Cheap Lightning already kind of working on this.
Ourselves on the back a little bit. I think it is good to celebrate the community. Like, I think if that's what this eventually becomes, then that's, I mean, for their efforts, that proof of work, I think is very important.
Yeah, well, I don't know, maybe I don't know, maybe like, I do think, okay, this was started without the idea of funding, and I kind of like that we leave that out of it, but it could be, something, it could be reverse funding, where we create a block, and then once somebody delivers, we just put a bounty. Hey Omar, we put a bounty on it ourselves, and then if somebody delivers it, we just send them the money. It's like reverse flip starter.
Or like once it's finished, they could put an address in that block if they want to, accept donations for their work.
Yeah, because I think the problem so far, I think, has been the coordination aspect, just that it's so hard to, because the scene is naturally, so everybody's doing things at different times on their own schedule, and stuff kind of gets completed pretty ad hoc, because not everybody's working on it full time, like not even us is working on it full time. B, everybody's globally distributed, so it's different time zones. And then C, it's leaderless, so obviously there is no, I mean, we're sort of trying to create some sense of a roadmap or how things fit together, but it's actually more free form than that in reality. So maybe it's a bit of a Sisyphean task. What about the memes of production group spreading onto Twitter? So you know what? I'll take that as an action point for me, that I'm going to talk to Cheap Lightning about, because there's some pretty funny memes from these ones actually, but they're not getting the proper airtime. I think some public memeing could definitely be produced out of all that. Be a pretty perfect person to do it as well, although I know already very busy, but CH so going public Twitter or other platforms. All right, cool. So that's one thing to do. Okay, so then what have we got here? Refer back to the to-do items in the previous session, see if they've been implemented. Right, so the first one was copy the rest of the founding doc into the README. I did not do that, but I think that's fine as well, because it's kind of like still a bit up in the air what we're actually trying to get done here, really. So yeah, I don't know. I guess it's a bit of an evolving thing. Let's see. Yeah, what do we got? Make sure. No audio thing. Okay, and then make Telegram Discord lockable group for discussion during and between sessions. So we actually did do that. So I've got the Bitcoin Cash podcast Telegram that anybody can chat in if they want to say something live during the show, and I'll read it out. But nobody has done that yet, and I don't think this needs a dedicated Telegram group at this stage. Maybe if it somehow kicked off and became massive, but at the moment I think that's fine. So I'm going to call this one a done. And I'm going to call this one a possibly unnecessary. Okay, cool. So that's that for the last week. Oh shit. Just close the just close the process document. Okay, cool. Discuss any recent feedback. All right. So one thing I was thinking about was that, you know, when this was all started, it was kind of started because there's this recurring theme of the community of like, we need a roadmap. Everybody was so fired up about we need a roadmap. Everybody kept asking for it. And now we started making it. And then once we started making it, suddenly nobody cared about having a roadmap anymore. There's been, since that time, there has been, for the first couple of weeks, I remember there was still people talking about roadmap, and I would link people to this and say, here it is. Do you want to get involved? Come join this next session. And nobody bit. Nobody said, yeah, I'll get involved. So it seems like actually nobody really needs a roadmap, to be honest. Or if they do need a roadmap, it's not, I don't know. It's more in the ad hoc style that we've kind of got going here, rather than in the like people getting the sense that progress is happening, things are being done, the community is cooperating. That's kind of more what they were looking for, rather than a specific plan of like, this is going to happen and this is going to happen and this is going to happen.
Yeah, I've honestly been quite keen on like lovingly bullying people that suggest like, oh, BCH should do this. It's like, well, do it. Like,
Either you do it.
yeah, nothing's stopping you, buddy.
Yeah.
Put up or
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what it is. But it was just such a strong theme. But then I guess, yeah, maybe just as time goes on, it just gets washed out as kind of unnecessary. So in that regard, I'm not really sure. You know, I don't think that there's nothing like valuable here. I think this is actually quite interesting that it turns out that things are getting done organically in the community, things that have been identified as ideas, but it's not even reliant on me talking to those people specifically. More like they just start doing it either independently, or they see it here and they think, yeah, that would be a pretty good idea. But I also was thinking about, and that's something else I wanted to touch on as well, is that Mark Falzon has just launched his Flip Starter, uh, and he obviously he did this onboarding video, and he's now doing this site called use.cash, which is essentially like a more practical hands-on guide to how to use BCH at a uh, physical merchants, and how to spend it to people, and just really like simple for absolute beginners. I think that's great because actually it goes really nicely with the stuff I've made, which is sort of more theoretical. It's all like, why crypto community so tribal, and like what about the environment, and sort of addressing all these like common concerns and complaints. Like it's quite in detail. And also I definitely don't have the same video production and stuff skills that Mark does. So he's made some really slick, nice, like quick videos and stuff that I would definitely struggle to produce, or I think we would struggle to produce anything equivalent at this stage. So in that way, I really like this part of it. And it made me think, because I thought, oh, maybe this was something BCH Builders was going to have to do, but it seems like he's already doing it, so we don't have to really bother about that. And instead, maybe, sort of we can lean into the more engineering aspect. I'm a dev, you're a dev, and maybe there's a way, maybe we turn these streams more into like live coding sessions. We build our own prototype or project, or link people up to engineering resources and stuff like that. Because at the moment, I don't even really know how people are doing it in terms of like, if you want to get involved in Smart BCH, there's some docs that I've had a look at, but you kind of got to just already know Solidity or whatever, right?
Yeah. So I didn't want to interrupt, but so I do have like a really nice camera
Yeah.
that I don't have enough reasons to use, and it being a frozen hellscape in Canada right now, it's like it's not gonna look as appealing to people as beautiful Nevis, right? So, uh, but I have done some videography work before. I really enjoy doing it. So given the opportunity, I would love to contribute in that respect. I also still have a like metric ass load of Bitcoin Cash merch from over the years. So if anyone needs stickers or brochures, now some of the information on the brochures are outdated, but if you need any of that, reach out on Telegram. And I mean, well, we'll have to build some kind of trust, but I have no use for it being in lockdown at the moment. So if anyone else actually needs this stuff, I'll send it out. Just cover shipping. We'll be good.
Yeah, because this is that, and that's another angle that I sort of want to, yeah, take this in is I do have, plans at some stage. Again, just haven't had enough time in the day, but it would be super cool to have links at least, if not direct ability to sell stuff like, yeah, BCH stickers. Like you could even make a merchant onboarding pack. Maybe this is an idea for Mark, if he ever ends up watching this, where you get 10 stickers, you get an iPad, you get, some documentation on Bitcoin Cash, you get 5 t-shirts and 3 caps or whatever, and then bam, your whole business is popping off.
So for BCH Independence Day, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, I was sending out goodie bags. I had, I mean, I wish I had I've got a whole duffel bag full of Bitcoin Cash stuff. So I sent out, I don't know what the hell these bags are called, but they're like, I see them with like as tour merch all the time. They're little bags that just have like drawstrings that are supposed to be used as backpacks. So I filled one of those up with a t-shirt or two, a bunch of stickers like for Bitcoin Cash accepted here in English and French and I think Spanish, and then informational brochures on how to get started and what services you can use. So that was, I didn't have a whole lot of stuff back then. I think I only sent out 5 goodie bags, but some of them went to, I think one of them went to Nigeria. I think some of them have gone to Japan, which is weird because I think some of the stuff came from Japan. I don't know.
Came all the way to Canada and then just to go back.
Yeah. And then most of them did end up going to the States, but that was like really fun for me.
Yeah. I mean, it almost feels like, yeah, we sort of have to invert the premise a little bit of this show, which was originally going to be having other people come and like show off their project. Maybe it needs to be the other way around. Maybe it needs to be, as this podcast grows, this sort of, ability to resources, free time, people who are actually dedicated and committed, that I know or have, got onto, that we can find these other projects and say, oh guys, do you need help with something? Like, look, bam, we'll get you a bunch of merchandise, or we'll get you, I don't know, your engineering done that you don't know how to do, or something like that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, actually, I think that would be really valuable for people. Like, okay, so imagine you're like super passionate about Bitcoin Cash and you have, your own local business, but you have no clue where to get started or who to talk to get those things. Like having a place to go to where you can be like, well, here's a bunch of people who have already accomplished something similar, and also we're here to help if you need it. And here's a bunch of resources too if you just want to, do your own digging. I
Yeah.
think that's a worthwhile endeavor.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. It sort of feels like, do we need a stream of that? I mean, I guess so. Even just you and me sitting here on this stream, it just seems to be coming up with good ideas. And I don't even necessarily know that we would have them if it was just some offline stream of you and I. So it seems like it is producing something. But if it's in terms of like Mark Falzon, for instance, okay, so let's just add this here. So let's say like goodie bags could be another. It's more like the idea factory at the moment is what we've got going. Is we're coming up with ideas, and at the moment we just don't have enough resources to sort of implement them. But the community somehow is implementing them. It's kind of weird, but it is working. Okay, goodie bags for
Something about
merchant
like Hydra.
onboarding. Yeah, the multi-headed, the decentralization just kicking ass. Okay, so like you could have, an iPad, a brochure that has, links to the information.
There should
Um,
be. I don't know who made the old brochures, but we really need some updated ones. Although like it's not like meetups are happening a lot, so maybe not on top priority at the moment, but The stuff I have
That's
is from 2017.
that's another one as well. That's like that's a separate but related thing, which is goodie bags slash start packs for meetup organizers, similar to merchant goodie bags, right?
Yeah.
That is another killer idea where they sort of go together as well too, because the first thing, and I haven't implemented this myself, but I have been thinking about it this month, is trying to spread some more physical adoption in Bournemouth, right? So my plan for doing that was going to be firstly to start a meetup group, call it, Bitcoin Bournemouth, and just see if anybody got interested, or if not, I'll bring in some of my own mates, and just so there's at least like 2 or 3 people to start, right? And then host that meetup group, maybe not once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks or something like that, and just have it at this same location, and just start it there, get a few people in, have some drinks, have a bit of banter. And then once I'd done that 3 or 4 times, and if I'd built up a core of, let's say, 4 or 5 people that were regularly going to rock up, then you can go to the venue, and there's like a restaurant pub type thing near me that would be perfect. Go to them. The staff already know me there. That's always critical. They already know me before this, but if I started having groups of people, they would notice because they already know me. And then if I said, look, hey, this is, and they say, what are you doing? I say, look, this is the Bitcoin Cash meetups. Can people pay in Bitcoin Cash? And then hopefully they would say yes. And then now your meetups like starting to gather a bit of steam, right? Because people are like, wow, this is cool. And then once you build that up over time, then you go to the place, across the road, and you say to them, look, they accept Bitcoin Cash, and we have these meetups every week. Like, can we get you involved in this somehow, right? And then you're creating a bit of a circulating economy. So obviously I don't know what you would need in that startup pack now, because I haven't done it myself. But if I did do it myself, or when I get around to doing it myself, I'll figure out what do you actually physically need to implement this process. And then, you can just batch it all up and just ship it to somebody who was keen, and they could just crack on with it, right?
So the longer I've been in the space, the more I'm like, so this is like a back burner idea for me, but it's like kind of eating away at me. So the first meetups I did were very technical. Like, I remember the very first meetup I did, I went over the white paper. Bad decision.
And then Satoshi said in section 6, privacy.
Yeah. But then, like, sponsoring the Tattoo Expo, most of it was just like there was a video game that was using SLP tokens at the time, and we had like one of those I don't know, like just like banister flag type things. That was
those flags are killer. Flags.
And then the whole table was
Mega.
just merch, and the merch was what interested people. So I've been thinking, like, there should be a for-profit company trying to build a lifestyle brand, like, and make it hype as shit. Like, make it some stupid influencer thing. Like, you can have, like, do stupid NFTs that tie to this exclusive lifestyle brand. Like, give it a VIP club. Like
fucking sneakers or some shit like that, right?
I don't know if I.
Well, we can do. I mean, this is what we're hopefully going to do with the podcast, right? As we could sort of scale it up a little bit, right? But maybe this is at the point where we're at now, where we're doing the streams. That's going fine. Got guests. We've got a bit of an audience. Maybe the next step is get some physical stuff going. It has been on the back of my mind, but I just haven't got around to it. But maybe that's kind of the state we're getting to, right?
Yeah, I'd rock some Bitcoin Cash podcast merch.
Yeah,
I need some hoodies, man. So
yeah, a shirt or a hoodie. I've been going. It's freezing as well here too, in the mornings especially, and I've been using the hoodies for that. I would definitely actually run a Bitcoin Cash podcast hoodie for that too. Okay, well maybe that. Okay, let's just add this into the. This is just getting a bit out of hand with like
a
random
clean white hoodie with a big green Bitcoin Cash logo.
Yeah,
on the back of it.
yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, you want like black, dark blue, and white, and just that green one right in there. Yeah.
And I'm not
Okay.
paying
Okay.
more
So
than
let's go.
$40 for it. I swear to God. Too many.
Mate, this is the influencer officially branded $300 hoodie. What are you talking about? Threads woven from the blockchain directly.
I saw people selling sweatpants for $60, and I was like, "Who are you? What is this? It's made out of cotton, for Christ's sake."
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah.
I'm just being a bitch. Never.
All right.
Don't
Let
mind
me just move this over here. So maybe really this roadmap needs to be in two sections. Maybe it needs to be the community are just randomly delivering. So hell yeah for them. And then that's what are we planning to do, you know? So let's just move it over here like this.
Kind of tempted to just start an online shop, right? I know there's so many like build your own
Instant
clothing
plugin
lines.
Shopify
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah. So let's see.
Do I have the time? Could I do a shop that only accepts Bitcoin Cash? Like, is that
Well,
an easy thing?
that's what we're gonna have to try and do, right?
All right. All right. All right. I'll be a clothing designer for a couple months. I'll see how I do that.
The fashion impresario, whatever it's called. The devil wears Prada. All right. So this is coming together. All right. Good. So we got to look into BCH because people want those hats as well. Let me think. Where is it? Hang on just a sec.
In this shirt, honestly, Bitcoin.com, if anyone from there is listening to this, remake this shirt. Make it a hoodie. I don't care. I want this is my favorite shirt of all time. I love all the languages on it. Like the nerdy cryptographic style of the shirt and the mug, 10 out of 10. I was trying to hire someone to do oh my god, Satoshi chip design for me with the same kind of aesthetic, and I can't find someone that like gets it. So
We've got to find some designers then. So I've got this hat, right, that I wore in the Disloyal music video. And like a couple of people were like, man, how do I get that hat? So I do want to get, again, I just haven't got around to it, but it sounds like this is just coming up as this is obviously the next thing is I'm just going to order like 5 of these hats and just sit them in my room and then just, I don't know, say on the show, like if anybody wants one, it'll be, you know, however many, 30 millibit BCH or something. And whoever just buys it, bam, I'll just send it to them. The other thing I've got is I've got this. I don't know, you can see it. It's like a Bitcoin in a little, what is this? The Rolling Stones like logo, or this famous like symbol, but it's actually a lollipop. Like there was a little like candy part to it here that I ate. But this shop near me is just selling these. They have about 20 designs, but most of them are crap. Only the Bitcoin one is cool, right? So maybe we could sell those too.
hold on, is that it? I've got these little.
Have you got one?
But I got like a set of 3. Hold on, I just want to see.
What is it? Is it chocolate or something?
No, these are just like I don't know, talking pieces. They're made out of like brass and copper and shit. So
that sounds so cool. This is made out of like crappy ass plastic, right? This looks so cool. You know what I was thinking that I really wanted? I want a necklace with a gold coin like that, you know, on it. That's it. Is that in a case? Can you take it out of the case, or is it permanently embedded into that?
it is in a case. I haven't ever tried because I don't want to get my grease.
Because you're a collector, mate. It's got to be in mint condition.
Well, these I bought like the set of 3 for like $8 or $9 on Amazon. So if I can find them again, I'll send you the link.
All right, because I just thought it would be so sick to have one of those. All you need to do is just like a basic silver chain, and then I don't know, drill a hole in it, whatever.
Let's
put
get
the chain
Lil
through
Windex
that.
back. Send him like a pimped out chain with like all of them. Just
What, like 50 of them all on the same chain?
I know the guy that
all
does.
right.
Sorry, sorry.
Well, no, go on.
The guy that like did Lil Windex, he was kind of irritated that that character blew up way more than his legitimate rap thing. So I think he's kind of like killed off the character for the most part.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Isn't his name still Lil Windex though? Does he?
No, his so I believe. Oh, I don't want to butcher this. Like I enjoy his music. It's a pretty serious, like more heartfelt style of hip hop. I think he goes by
Right.
DTG. Let me hold on. Let me just Google this real quick. I'll post a link in the Twitch chat.
Because I saw his video and I was like, oh, this is pretty cool, and that's part of why I made the video as well too. But uh, yeah, it seemed like I even sent him a message because we used his song on at the end of the podcast for a little while, just to say like, hey man, can I use this song? And he just didn't reply. So I thought, okay, well, hopefully he's not going to sue me then.
Yeah, so it is DTG.
Oh, look at this. DTG identity theft.
Yeah, and that's kind of about Lil Wind.
I don't know. This isn't grabbing me as much as Bitcoin Cash. I gotta be honest.
It does like
Okay.
TikTok skits and stuff now too.
All right, maybe I'll definitely check that out a bit later as well too. But yeah, I don't know. I thought his whole thing was it was just little Windex, and he had that in all his stuff. He just made that up just for Bitcoin Cash, like him starting with the squeegee and then.
I don't know. I think so. The song that was dedicated for Bitcoin Cash was paid for. Like,
Mm.
and it was. This is kind of interesting. It's paid for by a dude that is very like ex-girlfriend like with Bitcoin Cash now, and he like
Why is he on BSV or something?
no, kind of an Ethereum. Well, Profit Maxi. Let's be honest here.
Okay, all right.
I don't want to gossip, but yeah, I. Ooh, the people
Anyway,
who know know.
spicy.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. If you're in the know, you're in the know. I'm not in the know, but
I'll
whatever.
share.
Tough. Tough. So okay, so we got to get some merchandise going. Maybe okay, so maybe that's the thing to that's going to be the thing to do for next time is okay. To do is create some BCH merch. See if there's demand for it because there's also this site as well, wasn't there, called like BCH merch? There was already a site that was their whole thing. BCH merch, T Public, Bitcoin Cash merch. I don't know. A lot of
Yeah, but
here we
here's the
go.
thing: no one in the
BCH merch.
community gives a shit. Like the
Yeah, that's right.
Bitcoin.com
Because
store was pretty popular,
what is
but
this? Coronavirus masks with Bitcoin Cash. Fuck off. Like
wait, what is that low price? 76.93? Is that
I don't know. Yeah. What is that how you shield people to get in at the low price? I don't know.
that
Cold
seems
two
like
fish.
a weird shirt.
Yeah, I
Dude,
mean
I
that's
want Tank
it's
Man on a Bitcoin Cash.
yeah, I don't know. Bcash. All right, that's peer-to-peer electronic trash. This one's actually pretty funny. Can't believe somebody actually made that.
Will work for IOTA. Do you remember
This is
when
pretty
IOTA's
cool.
That is pretty
Yeah.
cool. Do you remember when IOTA's blockchain completely froze?
I remember I used to own some.
Oh, that
Look at this.
Bcash
There's
designer. Look at the account though. It's paid shill. This
yeah.
is
Look
like
at this.
the
This is
4chan
like a
biz.
haterade. Yeah. Like there's more Bcash is trash merch than there is actual Bitcoin Cash supporting merch. That's I don't know. This pillow, I don't know if I really need BCH pillows to be honest. Much as I'd love it, but all right, what else have we got here? We've got some more iPhone cases. That's
They're
kind of
also
cool.
like the tilted forward logo. I think everyone's kind of gone. I don't really care.
Got
at
you
end
want
of
the
day.
tilted back.
Yeah, looking up.
You want
You know.
the optimistic, exactly. Going to the moon. And it's here we go. BCH merch. They have 33 followers and 3 posts, none of which have anything to do with Bitcoin Cash. Okay. So yeah, I think there's definitely a gap in the market there. And I think, yeah, it could combine, it could fuse in with with this kind of stuff. Because I mean, we're going to talk about it on the podcast as well too. But that stuff in St. Kitts is crazy. It's kicking off. Like it's already, even just those videos that have been made of just like montaging through, 10 people with the BCH accepted here stickers on 10 different sides. You're already like, that's legit. And then if there was flags hanging up, if there was I don't know, people wearing t-shirts around the place, and so it would just turn into a whole like Bitcoin Cash island, really, which would be kind of amazing. Relative to El Salvador, where they're having protests, it would be the opposite if people were actually like repping it because it was cool. And that's also the kind of thing that could go pretty viral. So we got to create some BCH merch, and then maybe like see about talking to Mark Alzon about getting it in his videos. Just shill it into his videos. I don't know whether we need to do that or not. I'll put it down, but I don't know whether that really needs to come to pass. That's pretty kind of optional. First thing is for us to actually make some and get it going as well here. Obviously paid in B. And the other thing is, I think as well too about this, which I thought would be an obvious thing with merchandise, is you just sell it only for BCH. It's obviously you're not going to offer the option to buy it. So anybody who has it, it's like the only way you could have gotten it was you paid in BCH, or you bought it off somebody else, but they had to pay in BCH. Like the first person had to pay in BCH. There's no other way to do it. And presumably, if they were selling it on to somebody else, hopefully they would also ask for BCH, and they wouldn't resell it in fiat, because that's just kind of like, why are you bringing us down like that,
Right, so like there needs to be a declaration for the company, if it, comes, where it's like, we will only accept Bitcoin Cash, and as far as like possible, we will try to work with suppliers that take Bitcoin Cash, which I imagine for the first like 8 months won't happen at all. But having that, as far as possible, the end goal is to, I think that'll be, healthy for the company. Oh, you also need to find someone in crypto that won't just pivot when, shit hits the fan or something. So,
yeah. Well, I think that's the beautiful part about things like Bitcoin Cash merch and creating, little economic loops. Is once people don't really understand that about the network effect, right? Like, obviously, it's hard to get a network effect started. But contrary to people thinking that Bitcoin has the network effect because everybody knows the brand, yeah, but not many people are actually paying each other in Bitcoin, But once you get person A and person B, and they've got an economic relationship going, and the payments are in, let's say, BCH, it's very hard to sort of swap out of that then, because then both of those parties will also establish other, income streams and expenses in BCH. So if somebody goes, oh, can we just use Ethereum instead? Somebody's going to be like, no, what's wrong with BCH? We were using that. That's fine. That's perfect. Like, I'll give you BCH. You can put it into Ethereum if you want, but you're probably already paying other people in BCH. So yeah, those are the kind of economic loops that we need to create. And that's also partly why the podcast is the Bitcoin Cash podcast. It's not called the Jeremy Talks podcast, because that's not all in. I'm all in. I can't just pivot it and just go, okay, I'm going to Lightning Network now, guys. Like, I'd have to start from scratch. There's no way around it. So
you could
I think
on Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah, true. But I don't know, the Ethereum podcast, bankless, actually they were right the whole time. Like, you just can't do that. And that's the same with BCH merch. Once your hoodies and whatever are all Bitcoin Cash branded, there's no way to just quickly just turn that into Dash hoodies or turn it into something else, because you've already shipped 50,000 hoodies.
All right, guys,
they're already getting
go get your Bitcoin Cash tattoos. Stop being cowards.
I did. You know what? I did think about that the other day as well too. That would be really good for a marketing video as well too. But then I thought even better is you can just fake it. There's so many of those temporary tattoos. You get temporary tattoos. I saw they have them for strippers. They have those temporary, QR code things, right? So
that I don't know if I've ever shared this, but like, I paid for this Bitcoin tattoo with Bitcoin Cash when I onboarded the tattoo artist to Bitcoin Cash. So I'm super proud of this one.
There you go, man. That's it. You're leading the way. I have considered have considered something similar. The only thing well, firstly, I'm not very big on tattoos myself. And then the second thing is I just thought like, but what if it goes down the way it's already gone down, where the Bitcoin splits, the original meaning of Bitcoin is lost and everybody just comes to associate it with some pump and dump. And instead the real Bitcoin has to call itself, Bitcoin Mega, or I don't know, it changes color or like something like that, then, because the tattoo is permanent, but Bitcoin kind of has an element of, I guess the name would never change. Maybe it would change. I don't know. I guess that's what the eCash is trying to do. The white paper won't change. Yeah, true. Bitcoin peer-to-peer electronic cash system, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It just feels like it does have a bit of an amorphous element that literally nothing in Bitcoin is official. Even Bitcoin itself, right? Even the name Bitcoin is not really official, and obviously it's already changed to Bitcoin Cash. So I don't know. Yeah, definitely that's something we need to, like the logo, even that could and has been changed. A lot of things could change. So yeah. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to commit this here. So I'll talk to Cheap Lightning and we'll try and create some BCH merch. I'll also think about the metrics hub. Cool. Well, I guess that'll do it for this session of rambling about BCH and
one more
building.
like off the wall idea.
Yeah, hit me.
So, Zuckerberg released that like metaverse promotional video, and they were talking.
I haven't seen it. Oh. Okay. What's in it? It's him saying Meta is the best. We're all going to be
There's a bald
zombies.
guy first off, which I'm confused about, because if you were going into the metaverse and you had the ability to make your character look like whatever the hell you wanted, why would you pick someone with a horseshoe hair? Like, anyway. No, there was like they were trying to show off how artists could, show their art in the metaverse, and there was like this graffiti that shifted on the wall and it like transformed into its own other space. So if we can find, metaverse artists, whatever the hell that means, and get them to make Bitcoin Cash inspired interactive art, even if it's just for like a VR chat, right?
Okay, so this is online marketing. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is, let's just note this down. So metaverse interactive BCH art to spread the brand, right?
Yeah.
And it's kind of like paid on commission. I mean, ideally, you just want to get people independently invested and fired up, and then they'll just make it themselves, right? You don't need to pay them, but maybe there's a way to kind of seed that a little bit. And maybe advertising in the metaverse is cheap right now because there's not a lot of demand for it, but it'll have an increasing amount of eyeballs. I don't know. Maybe that's something to look into as well too. I think that really fits in our online marketing category. All right. Yeah. Anything else, or are you just gonna leave it there as that's it? Okay. All right. Well, I guess that was session 3 of the evolving BCH builders, which is turning into the BCH ideas factory, really. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll get some merch going for next time, and we'll do some. I'll see about these videos. I'll see about whether or not I'm going to end up making one of them as well too. Hopefully, yeah. I think I could add it and make it a bit more engaging. I've definitely sent a few people this link, and I know a couple of people have read it. I haven't got a lot of feedback on it. That's one thing I would like to improve as well too. But yeah, story for another time. All right, cool. Well, let's just leave it there then. That's it. Session 3. Did anybody comment in Telegram? No. Okay. All right. Cool. Kill it.
All right.